Thank you for the hat, friend. A little bit of extra willpower, never hurt nobody. Weird little pilgrim hat, okay. I mean, I guess it kind of matches with our hair. Maybe? I don't know, do you want your hat to be the same exact shade as your hair? Probably not, it kind of muddles it all into a strange looking sentiment, but hey, we'll take whatever we can get. Let's bring you two upstairs real quick. Let's see, there's another orc warrior, and there was a troll down there. And a priest, of course. Oh, chapeau, merci, merci. Oui, oui. Zut alors. But okie dokie, this is a bit more manageable, breaking off the fight into this little bit. We have nice regen, so we can also just run away once we get down to just our troll friend, and we should have time to heal up. Doing our best Vinestalker cosplay right now. Quick Blade and Regeneration. Eat your heart out. And that should just about do it. Fantastic. And the rest of the buddies there were kind of pushovers, I believe. Oh no, there's another warrior. Another warrior coming our way. I'll definitely bring you two upstairs. Jeez Louise. Don't think you one-shot kill me. At least very unlikely, so we can escape the hound, seeing as how they're quite a bit faster, or ward rather. And now we go back to Vinestalker strats. Or attacks of opportunity can just suck it, I guess. That's gonna take a whole lot of practice to deprogram all of the move sets that I've taken for granted for all these years. It's gonna be a fun one for sure. But there we go. That's a bit more manageable. Oh, maybe. That went downhill real quick there, but we're a-okay. And we can just keep smashing our way through the rest of these sons of guns. Slowly but surely. I think early Quick Blade is quite nice. Don't get me wrong, I don't want to seem ungrateful by any extent, or to any extent, but unfortunately it's not quite kind of for us here. Hopefully we can get maybe some branding to throw on it. If we get electric, then we're super happy with life. But I'm not even going to spend any time confused. Let's immediately cure out of that. We have a lot of the potions at the very least. It's not the biggest cost. Perfect. Dagger of Holy Wrath. Oh, probably again should have been paying a little bit more attention as to what what weapons my enemies were holding. Dinant? Interesting. Demon spawn. I expected them to be a Formicid. That seems like the type of name I'd give a Formicid. But I guess this could not be one of my ghosts. There are always a few of them wandering about. Also, I didn't actually look at your stats. 100 health. Yep, we're not fighting you for a while. It's hoping that we can maybe get a quick backstab. I don't really see why I was caring so much, seeing as how we don't really want this battle axe, and we already have a box of beasts, so, you know what, I'm kind of just talking out my butt. So we're gonna just leave that for now, and I believe we're actually just gonna go out to regular dungeon. It's a little bit safer than what we've experienced so far in these various areas, so that feels like the right move. I mean, a lot of times your main issue down here is going to be your first couple of like unseen horrors or potentially other invisible monsters, but that's not a concern for us. We're going to be okay in that regard, so ain't no thing. As we ID brand weapon, so let's immediately read that, put it on our Quick Blade of protection. Meh. The thing is, it's not horrible for sure, because the Quick Blade attacks fast enough that we very quickly get to the stage where we're proccing the extra AC. But still not perfect either. I guess one thing I should have done is given myself Ozkubu's armor. That's much better. 20 AC between our protection, Quick Blade, and that. I will definitely take it. Oh, a Death Knight though? I don't know if I feel comfortable fighting you, friend. Especially as the whole floor notices us. Let's just take a couple of our friends upstairs. Oh, we got marked. That's why. Dang you, Mark. You will rue the day, Mark. You will rue the day. Okay, so that stairwell, also not safe. For those of you who are keeping score at home. So we have this one. Maybe? Maybe, just maybe? Slightest respite. Somewhere to gain just a wee bit more experience. I guess, can we cast Metabolic Glaciation yet? 7% is not bad. We'll definitely learn it. Hearing grinding noises? Who's digging? We didn't see anyone with a dig spell. So someone has a dig wand here. Exactly, don't knows me, senpai. Oh, it's pretty wild how quickly we oscillate between states of being here. 1 second, we want all the attention we can possibly get. We're desperate to be noticed. And then the next, just terrified of the possibility. Cyclops as well? Jeez Louise, dungeon, you were not kidding around today. Oof. Well, what do we wish to do? Great hack, you can macro /bracketed 9O2 key, and now you can O-tab with 1 key. Oh, that's fun. Just hold that buddy down the entire time. That'd be a fun challenge to try and do. Just throw a couple of runs at the wall and see if any of them stick. Can you quite literally O-tab and nothing else through an entire run? I mean, a speed run isn't that much different from that. There's a little bit of decision making going on. Very unlikely to work, but maybe possible. And wouldn't that be fun? Yeah, no, I don't want to fight a Cyclops, I don't think. So, back to Orc we go? We didn't actually confirm that floor 2 of Orc was terrifying. We just kept in mind that it was a possibility that it was terrifying. Not exactly ideal, but maybe just maybe we can make through. Yeah, that's your O. You gotta master the art of holding down O-tab. It is an art form, alright. Say, maybe that's why I've never been good at O-tabbing in the past. I'm just not pressing those buttons right, you know? There's a finesse to it, a very specific feeling you got to embody when you want to bring it into manifest it into an existence here. Okay, but there we go. Managed to kill you. A bit closer than I would have liked, but it is what it is. I would like to get to this caravan if possible. Please, my orc friends. You could die quickly, silently, and without much ado. That would be lovely. Must be up here if I had to guess. So let's give it a shot. Don't boom me, please. Not too many orcs. No high priests if possible. That's more than no orcs. So unfortunately we didn't get what we wished for this Christmas, but hey, maybe not the end of the world. Just gotta be careful of those smites. Oof, and of you, sir. Excuse me. Ogres are not kidding around, apparently. Like to heal up. We do see that it's very nearby, so this should definitely be the bazaar. How much money do I have? 904? It's not a bunch of money, but it's enough probably. Do I have trash that I can throw away? Potentially not, so let's throw amnesia on the ground for now. Enchant armor can go on the ground for now, just making room for buying stuff at the bazaar. Similarly, javelins, let's just drop you for the time being here. 4 slots should be good, otherwise we can make some slightly harder decisions. Let's check you out, shall we? Transparent ringmail. Ringmail is a good choice for us, it's still relatively light. +2 leather armor, cold resistance. Probably not quite what we're looking for, not quite enough oomph. Ruined rapier, if we didn't have the quick blade, would be awesome. And am I re-equipped for orc? Gonna be honest with you, Sapid? Not really. Unfortunately, we're less equipped for the lair that we happen to have, and especially not well equipped enough for the the D12 was it that we were trying to bust our way into? So at the end of the day here, we just got to make do with what we got. Let's see. Book of Frost. I mean, I do love me some Frozen Ramparts. We're a little bit past the point in the game where it's especially useful, but it's always pretty solid. Irradiate, we will probably want in the future. We're very bad at conjurations, or our aptitude is at the very least, but transmutation isn't too bad. What else? Catalog of Black Rites, Dispel Undead, Agony, and Death Channel. Not great. Don't think I like that. Is the Catalog of Black Rites artifact? I don't actually know. It sounds like it might, right? It has a lot of... It has a powerful name, shall we say. What's in these spellbooks, eh? We're definitely finding out. Okay, we're gonna check that one. Book of the Sky. Do we want to switch over to air? Not really for any of these. One interesting part about transmutations is that they only work on us when we're in our alive state. I believe as a bloodless vampire, the majority of them do not function at all. You have no blood to transmute. It says right there, it is artifact. I always forget about these little tags. Yeah, right there. Artifact and an artifact. How about that? Book of Winter. Okay, we just know all these spells, I see. Well, we could buy the Book of Frost, I guess. Not exactly ideal, but that's going to be all the shops here. I guess we could check out that rapier. I'm going to buy this armor, though. Hopefully it's something wonderful. Harm and Strength +2. Not quite as wonderful as I would have hoped. Okay, but hear you out here. Blood Dragon. Hey, that's the only type of dragon we can become because if we're bloodless, it just doesn't work. Death Channel, Dispel Undead are good. Not too shabby. Dispel Undead, does it affect everything on screen? Or is it targeted? Because that becomes super relevant. Oh, I guess we're right here. That definitely becomes super relevant here. Binds the souls. So, wait, I'm looking at Death Channel. What is wrong with me today? Harms an adjacent undead creature. Okay, so this wouldn't affect us at least. That's nice. That's very good. Could be nice for, yeah, later down the road. I'm probably not going to be training necromancy too much. It's kind of fun. But no, I think we're going to focus on ice and a little bit of hexing on the side. Maybe transmutations. We'll see if statue form comes up, because statue form is so incredible that it generally makes my list no matter how we're feeling. I think we will buy Book of Frost. I would like to learn Frozen Ramparts, please. Perfect. And that's probably all we're taking from there. You're reminded that they used to be the artifact only. Artifact was not a thing for ages. Yeah. Well, back in the day. Definitely the go-to. Gives it more mystique, an air of extra power. Dagger of Electric is kind of tempting. Gotta find Necromancy for Pain Branded Quickblade. That is waiting for me in Hall Plates anyway. Or train it. Maybe, but I think I'm gonna stick to my guns for now here. Not too worried about it. Ideally, we'll find most of the spells in the regular dungeon as well. Fortunately, we just didn't quite have the money to buy a bunch of those spell books. So we had to make the cut somewhere. And we just kind of closed our eyes and blindly started snipping. This is how we ended up. So it'll work out in the end, I'm sure. Not too shabby. The protection brand actually... not my favorite brand in general in the game by any stretch of the imagination, but it actually has worked out for us quite well early on here. Giving us that extra little bit of defensive power. Dang it. Oh, I should have gone straight for the stab. That's a real shame. And this Orc Sorcerer is also gonna become an issue, unfortunately. Train a little bit more ice magic. Maybe even some evocations, since I always like having some evocations. And we'll turn dodging on for a while as well. Kind of flesh everything out. Fortunately, we're not in a good place for ramparts, because I would like to get a little bit of extra cold damage. Oh, I have barbs and I'm made of ice. Interesting. Oh, I always forget that those little devils barb now. Used to not be a thing. But let's do one of these real quick. That is much better. Now we just have to fight things on our own territory here, and we should do pretty well. We're killing most of these bad boys. Come one, come all. This is actually a pretty nice little corner for us. Keeps us blind to them as they approach, but then they'll have to walk through our area of death. So it was one up? Yeah, it was here. Perfect. And the rest of you can just come at me one at a time. Sorcerer, if you could be so kind. Sorcerer? Are you okay? Where did they go? Excuse me? I mean, I am a stealthy boy, so I guess it'll kind of makes a certain amount of sense in the end, but if you could please notice me. Again, we're back in the case of wanting to be noticed. Just can't make up our mind for the most part. Oh, geez. Don't like the Rust Devil, but perfect. Ice manages to kill the Sorcerer relatively quickly. Fortunately, they don't exactly have the health to sustain those big extended fights, at least not when they're being frozen from the inside out. Am I scaring them off with the ice? Are you actually smart enough to kind of think for once in your life? That's unfortunate. I like my enemies stupid for the most part. At least makes my life a heck of a lot easier. There we go, friends. We can keep this up. I mean, we still haven't come across any high priests, so that's where we'll potentially run into some problems again. I also like that you're allowed to stumble confusedly next to lava these days. That was a no-go back in the day. So you could completely murder your character, of course, but I mean, I will take it. Makes my life a bit easier here at the end of the day. Do we get good walls? Not bad. It's okay, at least. And another spellbook shop is huge for us. What have we got here? Book of Rhyme has Ice Form and Summon Ice Beast. Probably don't care for those too much by this point. We're a little bit further along. There's Death Channel offered to us again, so that could be nice. Borgnir's Vile Clutch is also incredible if we do end up forcing ourselves into Necromancy at all. Ideally, staying away from it for the time here. Kind of like our game plan, but we will do what we can. There's Dispel Undead and Death Channel as well, so perfect. Don't have to feel too bad about leaving those behind in the bazaar. So that is lovely. Hello, friends. Come one, come all. Just step this way right onto the ice, please. Don't worry, it's not slippery. I'm sure you'll be fine. We've had 0 days accident-free. You recently had a game where you lost to barbs. It's pretty silly because you need to have barbs, be low enough HP, and regardless of that, choose to move. Yes, I'm sorry to hear it. Can only imagine. Oh, geez. 14% chance to paralyze us. Otherwise, not actually that horrible. I think we will have to take everyone on a wee bit of a journey here. Potentially we can lose some of them as well. Again, we're nice and stealthy, so it's always lovely. And how many of you made it? Just the one? Okay, perfect. I mean, that was kind of the whole goal, so I shouldn't complain. But I'm tempted to. Don't get me wrong. One of the greatest treasures in life. Complaining about literally everything. But okay. Saying there's a chance. Put on my armor. Perfect. Didn't end up going for the paralyze, which is nice. Not sure how much it would have mattered there. Fortunately, just the Ogre Mage alone has low enough health that we managed to chunk through them with our Frozen Ramparts. And okie dokie. I mean, definitely mark these three. Mark Mutation for the future as well. That might be good enough for us to start our journey here. Hey, okay, perfect. Take out all the worst threats in the room with a few stabs. I'd love to see it for sure. Lots of curing, I guess, if I ever wanted it, so could mark those. And Degeneration for 15 gold, that's just a free identify, so let's do that. It also frees up an inventory space, which is lovely. And what else do we have here? Another ring mail. Please give me redemption for the one we bought earlier. Plus 6 ring mail, invocable invisibility, and willpower. The ring mail of the Northern Lights. How fitting. How fitting. Well, I will definitely be happy to swap to that. We have quite the outfit going on. We're very eclectic. We look like an eccentric business, like billionaire. Almost like a bit of a Tommy Wiseau kind of character here with the long black hair and the very interesting choice of outfit. Interesting. But up to 15 AC is pretty fantastic, and we're still not bad for stealth and ring mail. That's awesome. 3 pips of willpower is a brilliant start for us as well. Oh, Orc Wizard nearby. Sorry, friend, I did not see you there. Now that I do see you, I of course have to murder you indiscriminately. That's just the way we operate here, but hey, at least this is your last sight. This beautiful figure right here. Frozen Ramparts is a poor man's Uzamancy. Oh, I already missed the days of Uzamancy. What a treat. What a treat. We'll be back one of these days. Herald? You know what? I don't need to fight through here right now. Let's check. This may or may not be the same section. Looks like they might actually be separate. That alarm trap is in a terrible spot, so I'm kind of putting myself in a slightly riskier position to try and avoid the alarm trap. Whoops. A lot of good that did me. Fantastic work on my part, but 22 AC on a spellcaster makes these fights much more manageable here. We can kind of just hold down our attacks. Lovely. It does look like this is a separate section. We're not seeing people run over. Perfect. And is there a correlation between shop price and artifact power? I don't believe so. Like, that is interesting for all those unidentified shops, where sometimes it feels like there might be, but I feel like I've overpaid for complete garbage before in the past. Again, it might be a little bit of a like bias thing, because that moment hurts so much more that it stands out to me, but in general, it might follow that trend. It just seems like a bit too much of a hint to the player as to whether a shop is worth it or not, which makes me lean away from the possibility. But I don't know that one for sure. Let's also see. So we do have the, your shadow sometimes tangibly mimics your actions. So it might be just about time here, or at least close to the time where we want to start training invocations again. For now, I think we'll leave everything. Ice magic should have some kind of cap on it, so we don't keep training. That's fine. And now do I feel more comfortable going down to D12? Let's see, there was a Cyclops. What else was terrifying us? A Cyclops and a Death Knight. And it's that versus a pack of 6 yaks. Sorry, not yaks. Death yaks. Very important distinction. The Death yaks are probably slightly more manageable, it's just that there are more of them. If we can split them up, then there's a chance. Let's try it out. Let's go to Lair. Oh, right. We screwed ourselves here. Right. Forgot about that little interesting tidbit. You have 55 health. Hey, friend. Let's remove this. Swap over from intelligence to resist corrosion. Don't notice me. Don't notice me. Okay, we didn't get a great sneak attack there, unfortunately. But we'll get a few hits. We did get corroded once. It's gonna happen again. Hope not. It did happen again. We're at -8. Things can start getting dire real quick here. -12. Gosh darn it. At least with regen, we do actually heal faster than this plant, so we can kind of cheat the system. There we go. Fantastic. Oh, geez Louise. So not that stairwell. Oh, all of our stairs were bad. This one, maybe. Not horrible. Okay. Just one of you, please. Gosh darn it. Mushrooms are the bane of my existence once more. Well, we at least kind of got our wish here. They're starting. They're coming, all right. Did they lose me? People. Kids. Friends. I'm right here. I'm right here. Okay, there we go. So it's 30 damage on these sons of guns, 77 health. It's possible. Okay, better than I expected, actually. I feel like we did get slightly lucky in that fight, so I'm still going to split them off. Yes, the 22 AC does help a lot, don't get me wrong. But I didn't expect it to be quite this effective. There we go, that's a bit more accurate to what I was expecting to happen out of these encounters. Still just a wee bit terrifying. Not exactly ideal. Okay, friend. You would come right this way. Step right up. Nope, nope, nope. We don't take needless chances here. The two of you, I think we can handle. Just bring you to a nice little choke point. Lovely. Do I heal faster than Nethack? They're one of those creatures that heals pretty dang fast. That's why poison doesn't end up being very effective against them, because they just out-heal the poison for the most part. Oh, there we go. We're chunking through. Just one more. I think this is the last one. Didn't actually keep accurate counts, so that could very likely be incorrect, but it feels right. Felt like about 6 worth. So what else do we have? Watch the rest of Lair be an absolute cakewalk. After going through all that just to avoid the death yaks. Perfect. Holding down tab a little heavier than I potentially should, but I think we'll be okay. Especially with the snail coming through first there. That was very lucky, because that could have been a very annoying fight if we were slowed the entire time. Proto Dragon, we also fight well against. I'm not even using my ice magic at the moment, so that's a good sign. You watch some old vampire gameplay, they used to be too complicated, hurt your head to try and figure out what's going on. Oh yeah. No, because what was it? They used to have like 10 levels of satiation, and you weren't even able to switch between them at will like you can now. It was like you had to drink blood, and when you didn't drink blood is when you started slowly becoming bloodless, and all like 8 to 10 levels of satiation had completely like wild and varying effects. It was a little out of control, to say the least. So no, I definitely feel like it was a good change to reduce it down to 2. It's still not quite where it needs to be, which is evident from, yeah, the number of players that don't really enjoy playing vampires, as well as I think they're potentially next on the chopping block. You think it was 6 when you were watching? Yeah, it changed a few times, because I do believe it was even more before. In fact, do I still have the vampire page up? Hit the wiki up. Okay, no, it might have just been 6. It just felt, to young me, it felt like far too many options. Oh gosh, let's fix that. Accidentally try that out. And yeah, blood potions rotted. Yeah, you could drain the blood from enemies you fought on the floor. I mean, it was back when you could cut them up and prey on bodies. Or, sorry, pee on bodies for the sake of the gods. Blood pots. Man, what was even that? What even was that? I mean, that's the thing, blood pots, but there was also ridiculous things. Because making your own mutation potions from sky beasts, I'm trying to think of what other... Because I feel like there were more potions. Were they just degeneration that you made from like poisonous enemies? Back when you could also turn enemies into potions using transmutation spells? What a time to be alive. What a time. It was madness, not Sparta, for sure. A little out of control. Out of pocket, out of hand. You could get miasma from potions of decay. Okay, that might be one of the things I was thinking about. Oh, it's been far too long since those days. But I loved it. And yeah, those were from monsters like necrophages and ghouls, shadow dragons. Yeah. That's the thing, I never made it very far into the game back then when I did play. I had a lot of fun though. Especially Mutation Roulette was like my favorite part of the entire game. So it was constantly just cross my fingers hoping that I found an early Sky Beast or one of the few other enemies that could make mutation potions and just chug those bad boys down right away. And steam from potions of water and others. Yeah, there are a bunch of things. Oh geez, that was a long while back. The Trident of a Sewer is also pretty nice, actually. That might be nice enough for me to switch at some point in the future. We're not super invested in short blades, it's just kind of... We got the early quick blade, so why the heck not? Definitely something to think about. Dang it, I was hoping to beat you to that. Fortunately, we're done pretty much the entire floor, so there shouldn't be too much left. This son of a gun, notwithstanding. Well, let's drink one more heal wounds potion. We've just burned through those sons of guns, unfortunately. Are we kind of safe now? We're at least no longer marked, so I'm gonna take the risk of walking up here just to heal up with regen. Perfect. Thank you, my polar bear friend, for your understanding. And yes, Colgate, we do have the shadow mimicking our actions, which is absolutely fantastic. Makes me want to get some, like, projectile magic spells, because when those get doubled up, some ridiculous stuff can happen. We'll have to see what the dungeon has in store. And unfortunately, it doesn't scale from Dex in this version. I don't believe so. Just piety, I think. And oh my, magic trident, wow. Makes me nostalgic for the early days in these great player runs. Couldn't shake a stick in the dungeon back then without finding a magical trident. Hey Callie, how's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic day. In fact, I don't think I've really been giving my usual hellos to people today, so all of you in chat, hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. I've had a great weekend here. I know I've definitely had a busy weekend, but a pretty good one, all in all, especially since I managed to get my final coding challenge done. And that was a bit of an interesting project in its own right, so that was very satisfying to wrap up. But I hope everyone else is also having a successful weekend, whether that be productivity or if you're just relaxing and taking it easy. That sounds pretty successful to me. Oh, you're talking about short blades with the Dex. Yes, no, not at that point yet. But that's fine. We have high natural Dex, but we're not really training it. So it's not too much of a loss at the end of the day here. We will most likely be transitioning into magic as our forefront of damage output. At least I'm kind of hoping so. We'll see how it all goes down. So let's see. We got Snake and Shoals probably. If I had to guess, it was probably Shoals behind the whatchamacallit, the Hydras, the vast array, the moray even of Hydras that we found. Am I ready for Snake? Snake is going to be painful. I mean, so this is kind of a good example of what I've talked about a couple of times here, is that we have no source of good poison resistance. This chainmail, a bit too heavy for us to wear, and we're wearing really nice armor in general right now, so I'd like to keep to the ring mail that we have currently. So that does give us an opportunity to potentially use our undeath to get immunity to poison. Cold resistance isn't going to help us out a whole lot down in Snake. It's not terrible. Of course, we haven't cast it at all yet, but metabolic and glaciation is going to be very good in Snake. Slow them down even further than they already are. So I'm tempted to go there. It's between that or try regular dungeon. I feel like we could fight the Cyclops now. Death Knight? Probably? But that's a bit of a sketchier encounter for sure. Things can go downhill real fast. So let's try it out. Let's head to the top of Snake. And I think we will try out our first desanguination. Or I keep saying desanguination. Exsanguination, of course. Gotta make sure we're getting a little fancier with our prefixes here. And yeah, that's one thing to say fit. Bat form can definitely be good for swamp. I mean, it's pretty good for everywhere. At least to the extent that it is good. Because generally the only use case that I really like using bat form for is running away. Taking that extra speed, just retreating full bore. Because other than that, I mean, you're in a pretty rough spot. Can't use a lot of the normal tools at your disposal. Let's do it. We become bloodless, so you can see that we immediately go down 20 whole health points. But we have really nice resistances kind of across the board. We're even in the second tier of stealth here. I didn't actually know that was a thing. For whatever reason, I thought you just got max pluses. You can tell I don't play many stealth characters, or at least when I do, generally I hybridize them a bit so they end up in heavier armor. Okay, so we're gonna be real sticky-like. Electricity is one of the only things that we're not resistant to, much to my chagrin with that son of a gun up there. Oh, and they did wake up. That's too bad. Well, I think I'm just gonna start blasting here. We can deal enough damage, then we're in a good spot moving forward. Even if we do take some nasty hits in the process. Like bring you onto the stairs. Come on, get past the constriction. Ooh, jeez. That's why we hate Snake, folks. Definitely why we do not always have a good time here in Snake. Freaking constriction. But hey, still alive now. We're doing it. We're doing the thing. We're saying there's a chance. Just get out of sharpshooter vision. We, of course, as vampire, also have our vampiric bite now, so we can kind of sustain ourselves through fight. Not regenerate in front of enemies really sucks. Taking that much damage without paying attention also really sucks. Whoopsie daisies. Let's go with an acid blast. I probably should have covered myself in ice. I should also be using walls to my advantage here, but here we are. Same with metabolic and glaciation, just to slow these buddies down. There we go. That's slightly better. Everything that disturbs Art of Stair Dancing is rather unpleasant. Yes, I mean, I am kind of a fan of it because I'm not really in love with stair dancing in this game. I find that it trivializes a lot of fights, but there are certain areas where it's just necessary, and I am trying to stay alive and I'm trying to win the game, so I will use it as much as I need to survive, but I think it is good mechanically, but frustrating sometimes to deal with those methods of stopping you, Vault Wardens and Constriction alike. The Constriction, just the fact that it prevents stair dancing and does other terrible stuff, is a bit of a wombo combo that I would prefer not to have to deal with, but hey, it is what it is. Let's turn spellcasting back on for a little bit, and invocations can keep going up here. We never did gain the ability to actually use Shadow Form, at least not with any likelihood of success, 32%. So, I might train a little bit more in that department. Vorpal Halberd, hey? You killing a Jabberwocky or something, friend? Get some early poison, and then use our Vampiric Bite to kind of stay in the fight. Better than I expected, honestly. Ooh, Scroll Brand Weapon, okay. Do I take my Protection Brand for slightly longer? No, let's go for it. Quick Blade of Electrocution. Heck yeah, buddy. Okay. We in this? Let's metabolically inglatiate you real quick. Cover ourselves with ice and frozen ramparts. Oh, you know what? Those were actually bad calls, because I didn't realize you had a polearm, you son of a gun. And then electric branded quick blade is about as good as it gets, so let's try and leverage that into something nice. Converting to Jivia would give sustain and bloodless. Take a page out of Deep Dwarf. Cheat the system. Fortunately, we don't have to be bloodless the entire time, so it's not necessarily the be-all end-all of our run here. We could ID cancellation for 120 gold. You know what, I'll do that and buy another ID scroll. Puts us in a decent spot here. And then we can quickly chunk through. Let's find out what we have. Enchant Weapon. I definitely want to get my paws on here. Not that. Let's go here. Keep IDing things. That's our last ID scroll, but now we can read our enchant weapon and get this quick blade chugging. It at least is a good contender, basically until we get to Zot. But okay, definitely bring this out. Jeez Louise. Sharpshooter and Trident Boy. It's a bit more than I would care to deal with, but fortunately with metabolic inglatiation, it's super easy to slow them down enough for us to run away. And running away rather, is the greater part of discretion, and discretion is the greater part of valor, so in other words, we are very bravely running away. Tactical retreat, I believe the kids call it. Have another trident-wielding neck boy, which is a bit less than ideal, but this time around we're at least going to remember to slow them in advance. And just do one of those. And do you know what? No. That's about as far as that needs to get before we can start sprinting away again. At least getting out of sight range so we can begin healing. Begin the healing process, as it were. And do we have like a nice corner to force you around? Not so much, hey? That's a bit of a shame. At least do something here. Explode this immune to torment. Yeah, thanks Ninth for jumping in, but it is indeed. Slow you, get myself more AC. That combo might get us through this fight in one piece. Keep you slowed. Jeez, that got bad real fast. Okay, I don't know what I was thinking. Whoops. Yes, icy armor can definitely break. I do not mind in the slightest. Blowing your mind, 36%? Sure. I guess, wait, can your spit just kill us from physical damage? It can at 6 health. Let's, say our quick nope to that real quick. Let you come around the corner. Are you coming my way? There you are, friend. And let's try this a few more times, shall we? At least we're not going to die to the physical aspect of a poison spit. Perfect. And thank Colgate for the stretch redemption. Definitely been hardlining it a little bit here. I mean, it's kind of been working out surprisingly well. The last vampire I played was not this strong at this stage in the game, and was just constantly struggling and needing to go back and forth between different areas, so I'll take what I can get. Even with our little bits of struggle so far, it's nothing compared to how bad it could be. Okay, come on, Sharpshooter should be able to fight you in a vacuum. Perfect. Definitely went better. Ooh, Anaconda, I'm very glad that you don't have friends nearby. tell you that much. The master constrictor themselves, of course, quite the pain in the butt. But hey, okay, we get statue form. How about that? Annual of Evocations, also fantastic. Love it. Want more of it. Lightning is very bad for us. Make sure everyone is real slow. Jeez Louise. Oh, dang it. Oh, I thought I had one hit left in me. I risked it with 3 blink scrolls in inventory, and we're just 1 health below 0. 2 less damage. It would have been okay. Oh, why did I do this to myself? Right after a stretch break, too. You'd think that I would have done the usual hands off the keyboard. Always got to take your hands off the keyboard. Make sure you're not piloting yourself into an early grave. I mean, we've already been in our grave once. I guess it's just a return to form in a way. But honestly, I'm surprised we died, because you can't kill what's already dead. You can't kill me, Victor. Already dead. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. I'm very unhappy with that one, mostly with myself. Oh, an electric quick blade, really good armor. We were on track. We could have been a star. Instead, we got nothing. Got no talent. But hey, that's all part of the game here. It's what we get when it happens. And true, it should say you get destroyed instead of you die. You get obliterated into a pile of ash. That's the thing. Maybe that electric eel thing had some kind of innate ability to replicate Blade's weaponry. I don't know where my brain is going with that. Brain is just shutting down. Well, does Van Helsing the Vampire Self-Hunter get a shot? I think so, Save It. I think so. Hey, I'll catch fire. You just got here. Is it time to start the first vampire? Quick, get out of there. Oh, I went too far. Crap. Yes, though. No. You're totally right. Oh gosh, that's not right. Give me a second here to properly start things off. Oh, geez Louise. Computer is not happy with me at the moment. Didn't know this launches in full screen if you launch at this resolution. Anyway, what a mess I've gotten myself into. Let's take a brief second here to just do one of these real quick. We can manually fix our problems. Got too excited by the first vampire joke, and here we are.